The town has been busy over the past year putting together a new waterfront development plan and striking a waterfront development committee. So I'm going to ask Mayor Brenda Chisholm-Beaton all about that, about recent developments on the waterfront, and about how a small park at the edge of the waterfront could soon be more open to local residents and visitors, and why that small park was cordoned off in this regard over the past few years. So let's talk waterfront with Mayor Brenda Chisholm-Beaton right now.
I think this particular discussion is twofold because certainly a hidden gem, not only for the town of Port Hawkesbury but also for the Strait region, is the Strait of Canso Zone. I mean, it's a high capacity, ice-free harbor, and there's huge potential in and around the Strait of Canso Zone, and it's a huge asset for all of the municipalities and First Nation communities in the Strait region. What's going on right now with the waterfront at the town of Port Hawkesbury? We do have quite a lot of exciting projects in progress. First and foremost, we are currently in the process of developing a waterfront development plan. We have a very engaged, robust waterfront advisory committee, and they're certainly doing some great work. We are working also very closely with the Cape Breton Partnership, with NSCC, with Develop, and other stakeholders around kind of an innovation site, if you will. Like we do have to flesh out the idea a little bit more. Certainly, NSCC now has renovated a portion of the Creamery building, which is an important historical site here in the town of Port Hawkesbury. So it's really nice to see new life breathed into the building, that it's serving a function. NSCC and the Nautical Institute are amazing assets and partners for the town of Port Hawkesbury. So there'll be some ongoing training occurring at the waterfront. We also have interest from other companies in Atlantic Canada that are interested in having portions of their of training occur there for diving. And of course, new businesses are interested in the waterfront. So, things are definitely looking up for waterfront development, and they will progress. I mean, nothing's going to happen instantaneously. It's going to take a really well-defined business plan and a waterfront development plan for our waterfront. Other exciting, developments for the waterfront is around active transportation. We're hoping to connect the North Granville Street Park, most recently named Sunset Park, to the existing waterfront and to the existing walkway or boardwalk that's very heavily used locally. So that is going to be an amazing connector that will encourage active, healthy lifestyles in the town. And since we are a town that's built right next to the ocean, it helps us reconnect with our history, with the ocean and with the sea, and just developing our waterfront so that we can rekindle that important history.
Now, for this proposed active transportation connector between the waterfront and the North Granville Street Park, do you envision something similar to the active transportation trail that was established last year between the Nova Scotia Community College and the main commercial core along Reeve Street?
Correct. So although we don't have all of those details fine-tuned as of yet, the general consensus is that it will kind of look and function similar to that AT trail that connects NSCC and Embreys Island to our uptown core.
Does the success of that active transportation trail make it easier for you, council, and town staff to start planning for other connectors around Port Hawkesbury, but also make it easier to approach various levels of government to share in the funding to construct these types of connector routes?
The original intent of building that active transportation lane was to remedy a 30-year-long issue. There was an active transportation disconnect between our NSCC campus and Nautical Institute and the town of Port Hawkesbury. So up until the point that we were able to install that AT trail, Students who were not driving to the campus were walking along the shoulder of the road. And certainly not the safest conditions to utilize active transportation to get to the NSCC campus if students were living within town and walking or biking. So that AT trail was, of course, a remedy to that long-standing challenge. Once installed, though, what we soon realized was it was absolutely celebrated and well used by way more than just NSCC students. It was heavily used from the onset by citizens living in the town, by citizens living around the town of Port Hawkesbury. Having that AT trail connected directly with our trail system as well has certainly encouraged a higher level of use in our other trails. And it's just been wonderful to see. So it definitely has demonstrated that active transportation is something we can grow in the town of Port Hawkesbury and for the region as well. So my sense is that building active transportation at our waterfront is definitely going to reap some huge benefits around a healthy and active lifestyle for the citizens of the town.
Now, if that trail goes through, you've mentioned that it would end up at the park area near the intersection of North Granville Street and Prince Street, overlooking the Strait of Canso and the Canso Causeway. Recently, Town Councillor Jason Aucoin requested that boulders that had been placed at the entrance to this small park area be removed so that more people would be able to access it. Can you give us a little bit of history as to why those boulders were placed there in the first place and what needs to be done before they could consider being formally removed?
So I guess just to give a bit of a high-level history of that particular piece of property. So probably about 3 or 4 years ago, there was incidences of camping occurring on that property, and this issue was brought to council's attention by several citizens living very close to that North Granville Street property. So we were made aware that there was actually a free camping website that was advertising that piece of property as a place to go and park your RV or set up a tent and enjoy free parking in the town of Port Hawkesbury. So the town, of course, as the owners of that property, had no prior knowledge of that this website existed or that this particular property was registered. There was certainly no permission given by the town to register this piece of property on that website. In considering the concerns that were expressed by the citizens living in and around that property, as well as other citizens in the town who had a lot of concerns about that, especially around safety and security, and the property also kind of getting torn up with wheels and heavier vehicles, as well as garbage being left behind. So we tried to come up with a very quick and cost-effective solution to kind of create a barrier so that vehicles could no longer access that property, that green space. And keeping in mind that, we did realize it's still quite heavily used by citizens who like to go and sit on a bench or a picnic table and enjoy the view, because it is an absolutely beautiful view. So council did make that decision, which from the onset was a temporary one. We installed the boulders and to create that temporary barrier. And we worked to make sure that property was removed from that website, so there wouldn't be any confusion to visitors coming to Cape Breton Island. So at the end of the day, though, we're working really closely with our Waterfront Development Committee, with Town Council, and with some other consultants and partners to determine what can we develop that Sunset Park into, and what role and function can it play. It certainly will be connected through the AT Trail first and foremost, and what other functions can that property have that can add benefit to the lifestyle for the people in Port Hawkesbury. And it's got a world-class view, and we're excited for whatever the future holds for that particular space.